All right, so another important aspect of blood when we're discussing blood is to discuss human blood types. Blood types are pretty interesting. They're going to be determined by proteins that are found on the surface of red blood cells. And there are a couple of instances in which case they're going to be really important. So for example, with a blood transfusion, that's simply the transfer of blood from one person to another. But you have to make sure that the blood types are compatible in order to prevent agglutination or clumping of those red blood cells. Because here's the thing, red blood cells are highly specific. And if your blood detects foreign blood or blood that has different antigens on it, your body can actually protect itself and clump up and clot and prevent that blood from escaping into the rest of your body. Problem is, a lot of times you need that, especially if we are doing a blood transfusion. So although it's a very important part of our immune process, it also can be dangerous and is something that we need to take into effect when we're looking at blood transfusions. So there are three specific types of blood groups. ABO blood groups. These are going to be determined by antigens. These are foreign substances, often a glycoprotein, that stimulates an immune response. Blood types are going to be determined by the presence or absence of two antigens. So there are two specific antigens, type A antigen and type B antigen. Type A blood has the A antigen. Type B blood has the B antigen. Type AB blood has both antigens, and type O blood has neither antigen. So here's a little bit of what that looks like. So here are different blood types. Now, the interesting thing is that type A blood is going to make anti-B antibodies. So you cannot give an individual who has type A, type B blood. If you give a person who's type A, type B blood, their body is going to respond against it because we have anti-B antibodies. An individual with type B blood has type B antigens and anti-A antibodies. Type AB blood has type A antigens and type B antigens. However, the type AB blood does not have any anti-A or anti-B antibodies. Type O blood has no antigens and has both anti-A and anti-B antibodies. So, just looking at this, who do you suspect could receive blood transfusion from anybody? And I'll let you think about that. Maybe you can answer in a discussion group that we'll post online. But who, based on what you're seeing here, would be able to receive blood from anybody, receive a transfusion from anybody, and who would be able to give a transfusion of blood to anybody? We have universal donors and universal acceptors, people who can give or receive blood from any individual. So spend a little bit of time looking at this. See if you can figure that one out for me. So like I said, during a blood transfusion, if antibodies in the recipient's plasma bind to the antigens on the surface of donated red blood cells, then agglutination can occur. Therefore, type A cannot receive type B blood or type AB blood. Type B cannot receive type A or type AB. The universal donor would be I'm going to still leave that up to you. Our universal donor and our universal recipient. See if you can determine who that would be. So the Rh factor is another blood type antigen. If it is present, the blood would be Rh positive. If not, the blood would be Rh negative. Unlike anti-A and anti-B antibodies, anti-Rh antibodies are only going to develop in an individual after they've been exposed to the Rh factor. So this becomes really important. We care about this in the event of hemolytic disease of a newborn. So when an Rh negative woman gives birth to an Rh positive fetus, some of that Rh positive blood can leak from the fetus to the mother, causing the mother to make anti-Rh antibodies. So, which is fine for the first child. However, for the second child, when the mother later has a second fetus that is Rh positive, those antibodies could cross the placenta and attack the fetus's red blood cell. This can lead to anemia, disabilities, even death. So to prevent this, the mother should receive a RhoGAM shot, an anti-RhoGAM antibodies, within 72 hours of giving birth to an Rh positive child. All right, so make sure you review the different blood types, what determines blood type, list those four blood types, explain who a donor with type A blood is also able to donate blood to. You should be able to do that for all the blood types. Know who can donate to who can receive from who. And then just have a general idea of what causes the hemolytic disease of newborns.